In this video, I'm going to give you a brief introduction to how to use the MeasureNet software as an instructor. At this point, you've gone through orientation and you've used the MeasureNet stations as a student and had an experience like what your students will experience. And now you've got to learn how to operate the software on the laptop and do some basic troubleshooting in the lab of common issues that students are going to face with using the MeasureNet system, including making sure that students' data gets saved to the laptop in the lab and that it correctly uploads up to Kim 21. So as you're preparing to start your lab, you want to open up from the desktop the shortcut that says MeasureNet PC software located on the left-hand side of the screen. That's going to open up the MeasureNet software, which is going to allow us to take the students' data that they are working with on their station and save it to the laptop. So you're just going to double click on that icon and the software is going to load. Once the software loads, you're going to see this screen. You want to start off by checking that you have two green lights underneath network status, one next to Excel and one next to controller. If you don't have the green light next to controller, that's okay. Just give Stacy or myself a call and we'll come down and take care of that for you. So once you have the two green dots next to controller and Excel, it's time for you to start setting up the software for your lab section today. You're going to go up to the upper right-hand corner where the button says Start New Session, and you're going to click on that button to start a new session. That's going to allow us to log in your students depending upon where they're at in the lab room, and so everything can upload from their station to Kim 21 smoothly. Once you're ready to start, you need to tell the software where we need to save the files. We're going to do this in an orderly manner based upon the experiment number we're performing this week and the section number that you're teaching during a lab section. You're going to need to select both of those from the drop-down menu so we can get everything saved in an organized manner. One thing to keep in mind is that we do have multiple students in multiple sections working at the same station, and that each data file is saved with the identical name. So it's extremely important that we keep everything organized and that you save your sections file to their section folder. That way the TA after you won't be overwriting your data files with their students' files. And if something happens and we have to go back and pull the students' data, we still have those data files available. So you're just going to click OK. Go back, verify that everything is saved where it needs to go, and click on Accept the folder. Next, you're going to be prompted to determine if we want to upload the data file. So we're going to click Yes, because we want to upload to Kim 21 Labs. You're then going to be asked to log into the web data storage site that is for us, kim21labs.com. So you want to use your Kim 21 Labs username and password for an instructor into these blanks. Keep in mind that MeasureNet doesn't like it if you use special characters in your Kim 21 passwords, so you're going to want to remove them before attempting to log on. Then you're going to click Submit. We're then going to see our sections that we are TA or instructor for appear. If you're teaching multiple sections on the same day, so for instance, you're teaching 2 sections on Monday, you're only going to see one entry for all of your Monday sections. If you're teaching on multiple days, you're going to see multiple sections appear here. You want to click on the day of the week that you're teaching lab, and that's a double click to load the next section. So on the next screen, you should be seeing all the names of all the students in your section. You're going to start by logging in the section by entering in the experiment number that we're performing today. I'm going to use experiment 11 as an example. You should see its full name as it appears in Kim 21 appear to the right. If the experiment number that you enter doesn't match the experiment number on Kim 21 and the experiment you think we're doing today, then you need to go back and have another look. The next thing you need to do is take attendance. So you need to turn around and ask your students, if they're present in lab and which station number that they're working at. Each station is identified by a white sticker with the station number attached at the very top of the individual MeasureNet stations around the room. We have in each room up to 12 stations that can be operating at any given time. It's important that when you're taking roll that you are writing down those station numbers on a piece of paper, because oftentimes you'll find that the MeasureNet software may shut down unexpectedly in lab and you're going to go in and need to fill these in again. So you're just going to enter in the station number in each one of the boxes next to each one of the students' names. Once you've got everybody's station numbered in, go down to the bottom right and click on Accept Login Students as Indicated Stations button. Once all of the students are logged in, it's important that we save our logged in users list in case something happens to the MeasureNet software. To do that, go up to Web Data Storage, select Login menu, and click on Show Logged In Users List. You should see a list of all the students that you've logged into your sections today. Click on Save List of Logged In Users, and we should be able to pull that list up again in case the MeasureNet software crashes at some point during the lab. So as your students begin to work in lab and they begin to power on their stations, you're going to see changes in the bottom part of the MeasureNet software indicating how students are proceeding with their lab. For instance, when you power on a station, the icon for status underneath the station number will change colors. So here I powered on station 1. You see it went from having no color to being a gray color. As students progress through the lab experiment and go from monitoring what they're doing with MeasureNet to collecting data, to stopping a trial, to downloading data, those statuses are going to update following the color-coordinated key below. When they download a file, you'll see that the station number will become bolded in black. And if you click on the number, you should be able to see under downloads for this session from session 1 that a file appears. You can click on that file and the data will then appear in the graph on the left-hand side. Make sure you review all students' data before they are leaving the lab in case they need to redo a trial. In addition to checking that the student's file successfully saved on the laptop and looks reasonably nice to work with, you also need to make sure that students' data uploaded to Chem21 Labs. To check that, just go to chem21labs.com, click on Instructors, and enter in your username and password for your instructor account. Once you've successfully logged in, click on your course. You'll then see the list of assignments, and you need to click on View Student Work for a particular experiment. Then click on Attendance. On the attendance page, you'll see a list of all of your students in your particular class. Over on the right, you should see a list of files following the naming convention for a particular experiment we're doing. You'll need to make sure that all of the files are named correctly, otherwise the Chem21 datasheet won't recognize a student's file. Anywhere you see blanks, that means the students don't have data that's been uploaded, and you're going to need to go in and upload that data. To import data, click on the link that says Import Data. You'll then be taken to a page where we can paste in our missing data files. On the laptop in the lab, go back and browse for the experiment number and folder number corresponding to your section that's going to contain your lab section's data set. So I'm going to select one of the text files on the laptop and open up that text file. And then I'm going to use Control-A to select all, Control-C to copy, and then go back to Chem21 and use Control-V to paste. Make sure you change the file ID to match the file number for the text file that you're pasting in. Once you're done, click Submit at the bottom. Once you've imported the file, you're just going to go ahead and click Back to Attendance. There you can make sure that the data file was successfully uploaded. You also need to make sure that each one of the check boxes next to each one of the students who are present in lab each day is checked. When you import data, Chem21 doesn't automatically check this box, and you do need to double check that it's correct based upon the students who attended lab each day. Once you have checked the checkbox next to each one of the students' names, you're just going to go down and click the Submit button. You're going to want to do this regardless of whether or not the check mark is present on your attendance sheet. And then once it's updated, Chem21 will tell you that attendance has been updated. Make sure that you set attendance prior to leaving your lab each lab time so that students are able to do their assignments. Without clicking the attendance through, they aren't going to be able to view their data sheets under their assignments, which you can verify using the View Data Sheets link on Chem21 and then looking to see if their name appears on that list.